Okay, today I'm giving you the lecture first, okay? So lecture topic will be marketing management in sports, okay? So marketing management in sports. The last week I already emphasized in the field of sports industry, sports marketing is very, very important topic, right? So I'm addressing the marketing management in sports once again this week, okay? So today's topic will be marketing management in sports. In the sports marketing, you guys know have you heard about the marketing plan? Today's topic will be based on the marketing plan. So marketing plan, you guys have to, any kind of marketer in the professional sports industry has to know their unique strategies and tactics. But you guys have to differentiate between the strategy and tactics. Two words sound like very similar, right? So there is kind of little bit difference between strategy and tactics, okay? So strategy is the big picture, and tactics is more detail side, okay? So tactics is the details of our marketing plan, okay? So marketing management process is the background of marketing. So emphasize interdependencies at all stages. So I just described the strategic steps of the MMP. MMP is the marketing management process, okay? So first step will be analyze the market and the organization, okay? So second, to clarify the sports organization's missions and objectives. And then the sports industry, right? So any kind of sports marketer will be capable of developing the marketing mix and plan. So and then integrate marketing plan into broader organizational strategy, okay? So control and evaluate all elements of plan will be the last steps of the MMP, marketing management process, okay? But probably there are important 5 steps might be in your midterm examination. So please remember all kinds of 5 steps and memorize whole thing, okay? So memorize whole thing and put those kind of process in your brain, okay, please. So this is there are the difference between strategy and tactics, okay? So first of all, purpose, right? To identify clear broader goals that advance the overall organization and organize resources will be the strategy. But in other words, tactics, to utilize specific resources to achieve sub-goals that support the defined mission, okay? But you just have to focus on the purpose of strategy and tactics. And then you guys have to focus on duration part, okay? Duration part is more clear difference between strategy and tactics. As you see, the strategy will be covering the long-term change in frequency, but the tactics more short-term, the flexible to specific market condition, okay? So there is kind of a long-term. Strategy is a long-term perspective. In other words, tactics is kind of short-term, the perspective in the process of the marketing, okay? But there is a big difference, right? So between strategy and tactics. But I already told you, looks like and sounds like very similar, but there is kind of the huge difference between those two kind of the words, okay? So as you expect, the sports marketing, so I mean just sports, the people who works in the department of sports marketing, they have to have the unique marketing strategy and tactics, right? So there's kind of unique the target market and any kind of unique specific the marketing strategy and tactics. Any kind of sports marketer in the professional sports industry, they need their unique the sports marketing strategies and tactics, right? So for example, beach volleyball, right? So beach volleyball is hot and cold. That means the beach volleyball was very hot was very hot at the latest 1990s, right? The two associations, ABP and WPBA, were unable to promote beach volleyball. There is kind of problem. The beach volleyball, you guys know beach volleyball, right? So beach volleyball is the official, any types of sports in the Olympic game, right? So beach volleyball is very, very famous. I mean, just popular. Everybody enjoyed watching the beach volleyball game, right? So during the Olympic season. But the ABP, usually ABP is organizing the men's volleyball game in the US. I mean, worldwide. The men's volleyball game, ABP is the organization which deals with the men's volleyball games, and WPBA usually organize women's volleyball game, okay? But two organizations were unable to promote beach volleyball because beach volleyball has marketing problem. But even though it was one of the most popular sports at 2012, the London Summer Olympic game, but looks like very successful. But in the kind of marketing perspective, the beach volleyball has a huge problem because they did not have their unique marketing plan. I mean, for promoting beach volleyball game. There's a kind of marketing problem. But sounds like very successful story, the beach volleyball. But in the marketing perspective, that they face huge crisis, right? So they kind of due to marketing problem. But tennis tried to recover, right? So tennis had big popularity before in 1960s and 1970s. But it lost their participants in 1980s. Why? Why means my question, right? Anybody got the comment or thinking about this question? They're almost 50 years ago, right? So 1960 and 1970s, tennis has big popularity. But in 1980s, almost 30 years ago, right? So tennis lost their participant. There's also kind of marketing problem. But they just the marketing professional, perceived tennis as an elite sport. I mean, that's not the popular, right? That's not the normal class game. But just like a golf game, just like golf, the tennis marketer thinking about the tennis game as an elite sport. That's why the many people, I mean, just the normal class people, was not interested in watching the tennis game anymore, almost 30 years ago, okay? The tennis game, you guys know it's hard to run and play, right? But at this moment, after 2000, I already empathized the role of women's tennis for promoting tennis games worldwide, right? So you guys know the Sharapova, right? So Maria Sharapova and the Williams sister, right? So Sharapova is from Russia, right? The Williams sister usually playing for the United States, right? The two black women, Serena Williams and Venus Williams, they reside in Miami area. You guys know I've been in Miami for 10 years, right? So Williams' sisters, every time practiced and played in South Florida area in the United States. So women's tennis, in the marketing perspective, two huge, the great stars, right? Williams' sisters and Maria Sharapova, the tennis will be trying to recover in the perspective of sports marketing, okay? So Play Tennis America is kind of educational program, including the pre-clinics, pre-equipment, and organized leagues for all ages, especially for youth. The Play Tennis America is kind of educational program name, okay? But those kind of things will make the tennis more popular at this moment, okay? So you guys have to remember. Track and field, right? The track and field, that is steady, but very risky. The race as a fundamental sport, usually in the Olympic game, right? So good result in the Olympics, and 2012 London Olympics, right? So you guys know the first, what's his name from Jamaica? Yeah, Usain Bolt, right? You guys know Usain Bolt is most popular person, right? Everybody knows that, right? Everybody enjoys watching the Usain Bolt. Usually 100 meter, men's 100 meter and 200 meter, he's number one, right? So high school participation surpasses continuously, but the track and field also has also rack of marketing strategy. That's why that is steady, because that is regarded as a fundamental sport, but that is kind of risky because any kind of marketing professional working for track and field, they were not interested in promoting their sports, right? So, I mean, just a track and field. So marketing perspective, every time they have kind of problem. That's why that is the steady sports, but also that is the risky, right? So golf enlarged its territory in sports, right? Golf is, you guys know, it's an all-age sports, right? The built its image as a social sports. But the first tee campaign, which started in 1997, the first tee also, there's kind of educational program name for promoting the golf, especially the United States area, okay? So that will be developing hundreds of new golf facilities around the United States. So PGA and LPGA sponsorship is also effective in the United States. So golf participants have buying power. But you know the Tiger Woods, right? So Tiger Woods at this moment, and 10 years ago he was number one, but he got a kind of scandal problem, right? But at this moment he's number one once again, right? So Tiger Woods, the superstar, right? Because of him, the golf will be the popular worldwide. Everybody knows him, right? So usually the PGA organizing men's golf event inside the United States. But LPGA, you guys know, LPGA is organizing every kind of event in the United States focused on women's golf, right? So women's golf. The LPGA, but I already told you guys, LPGA kind of they faced kind of problem because the player from United States, the people, they did not perform very nicely. So right now, at this moment, the LPGA, the Korean golfer, especially Asian golfer, every time they won the championship, right? Not the United States person. That's why the LPGA is focusing on the Michelle Wie, right? So you guys know Michelle Wie. Michelle Wie is a half Korean, half United States citizen, right? So Michelle Wie performed very nicely. So LPGA pushed her play in the men's golf tournament. But that kind of story was not successful. Michelle Wie did not perform very nicely. The amateur, just at the college season, yeah, Michelle Wie went to the Stanford, right? You guys know Stanford University, right? It's located in the West Coast, right, in the United States. But when Michelle Wie went to Stanford, she performed very nicely. She was the #1 amateur golf player in the United States. But as she graduated from Stanford, she went to professional, right? But after the graduation, she did not perform very nicely, just like amateur season. Because LPGA has kind of problem, especially in the promoting golf game, any kind of in the marketing perspective. LPGA was struggling to promote their golf game. But PGA is very, very successful. Tiger Woods. You guys remember Tiger Woods? You guys know Phil Mickelson? Tiger Woods is a righty golf player. Phil Mickelson is a lefty player. The Phil Mickelson is a white person. Tiger Woods, in contrast, is a black person, right? But there is a huge rivalry between Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson. Everybody want to be interested in watching Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson playing together, especially final round. Usually PGA game through Thursday through Sunday, right? Saturday and Friday is first and second round. The final round usually will be held it Saturday and Sunday, right? So final round, if Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods play together, everybody wanna be interested in watching them playing together, okay? So that is kind of huge role in the promoting of golf game in the sports industry, okay? You guys have to remember that. So marketing plans. So have you heard about the SWOT analysis? So in order to execute the process of marketing, any kind of sports marketer have to get kind of situational analysis. Situational analysis, you guys know your situational analysis. SWOT analysis is the one representative method, usually processing the situational analysis. Before the process of marketing plan, any kind of sports market in the sports industry, they have to get the situational analysis. The SWOT analysis is the representative example of situational analysis, okay? But as he explained, SWOT means, S means strength, W means weakness, O means opportunity, and T means threat, okay? The four important terminology you guys have to remember, okay? So the SWOT analysis, understand your environment and your place within the professional sports organization, and then know the consumers and their behavior, but that requires careful research and development of a MIS. MIS means Marketing Information System, okay? Marketing Information System. MIS is also important terminology you guys have to remember in your brain, okay? So MIS, Marketing Information System, usually focusing on consumer analysis. I already emphasized last week, right? So any market, they have to get their unique target market, right? Before setting the target market, the sports marketer have to survey the consumer, right? So consumers, the likeness, right? So this kind of marketing information system is directly related to the consumer analysis part, okay? Sports consumer analysis part. The decision makers need timely, accurate, and usable data. So, and then what is a SWOT analysis? I already explained, right? So a careful analysis of the strengths and weakness of the own organization, as well as the opportunity and threat in the marketplace of the organization, okay? The SWOT analysis helps the sports marketers to understand their industry and business. The issue involve as much as possible constituting the organization, but it usually relies on the information of the MIS. That means based on the MIS, Marketing Information System, the marketers will be the capable of the developing the situation analysis, like a SWOT analysis, okay? So marketing information system, I'm gonna explain in detail in marketing information system, okay? So marketing information system means consumer tastes change, competitions change, technology changes. So any of these changes may require alteration in the marketing plan, right? So the marketer must use all available information to be sure that any plan is realistic, okay? So the information, you guys know, you know the meaning of the information, right? So any kind of information, especially the regarding marketing part, that's the marketing information. But especially is focusing on more on the sports consumer analysis part, okay? The consumer analysis is more directly related to marketing information system, okay? But that means all about the information means marketing information system, okay? So in the marketing plan, in the sports industry. So marketing information system continue. How can the sports marketer get information? So there is kind of two types of information. There is kind of the real big difference between external information and internal information, okay? So usually, before explain the external and internal the information, I just want to talk about this part first, okay? Syndicated research. Through the syndicated researches, the sports marketer could get the marketing information, okay? Usually, the market research firm, for example, Nelson or ESPN, influences each industry expertise and experience to determine the subject and scope of the study, including the questions asked and the population targeted, and offers its result and analysis to multiple clients. This kind of information part is directly related to kind of sports research. Maybe graduate students very interesting at the research, right? You guys have to write, did this, whatever, right? So in order to write the kind of sports research, you guys have to make a survey, right? So the kind of market research firm is the representative, the company which conducts any kind of market research, right? So market research, for example, Nielsen and ESPN, through the help of those kind of two companies, the sports marketer have the chance to get marketing information, okay? So external and internal, I'm going to talk about the real big difference between two words, external and internal. For example, the external means those kind of basketball research. You think about the basketball research. External information means regional demographics, more general concept, right? But internal, kind of more specific concept, right? The internal, for example, in the basketball, the list of season ticket holder is the internal information for conducting marketing plan. But external means more general concept, right? More broader. The regional demographics, right? So those kind of difference between external and internal in the information, okay? I want to give you the representative professional organization, right? The Chicago Bulls. Everybody knows that, right? So this organization is very, very famous and one of the NBA organization. NBA has the 30 organization, as I already told you, right? The Chicago Bulls, usually they played very nicely. They won the championship in the 1990s. Because of whom? Michael Jordan, right? So Michael Jordan. In the sports marketing, you guys have to think about the role of Michael Jordan, right? So Michael Jordan and Chicago Bulls. And kind of Tiger Woods and Nike. Everything is the great thing which helps to develop the sports marketing worldwide. That's why I'm choosing the Chicago Bulls when I explain the sports marketing concept, right? Usually this part, I want to explain the situational analysis part. That's the example organization, okay? The SWOT analysis. You guys have to, very hard to read those things, but SWOT analysis, I already told you. S means strength, W means weakness, O means opportunity, and T means threat, right? So first of all, strengths. I'm going to talk about strengths first. One of the most successful NBA team with many titles is one of the Chicago Bulls' strengths, okay? So basketball legend Michael Jordan played for them at the peak of his career, which made the team very famous worldwide. That is kind of strength part. Then the Chicago Bulls, when you think about the Chicago Bulls, you guys have to always thinking about the role of Michael Jordan, okay? Usually in the 1990s. How about the weakness? The Chicago Bulls does not have a huge global fan base, with most of its fans being from USA, right? So at this moment, many European people and Asian people, because the kind of the popular player, especially Tony Parker and Doug Nowitzki from your country, they play. That's why most European people also have the interest in watching the basketball game. But usually, the fan base is based on United States people, right? That's the kind of one of the weakness the Chicago Bulls faces. And second, have not won any title after Michael Jordan left the club. In the 1990s, Chicago Bulls is number one basketball team in the United States. But after Michael Jordan retired, the Chicago Bulls did not get any kind of championship ring anymore. That's kind of this organization, Chicago Bulls' weakness too, right? But that is the strengths and weakness. And opportunity. Develop new talent and retain them so that they are able to reach the highs of the 1990s once again. So open new academies in Asia to attract new fans and develop brand equity, okay? And then threats part. Threats of top player leaving the club and threat of losing its fan because of the inability to win the NBA title in the last 15 years will be kind of threat part. But especially the strengths and the weakness is the organizational problem. But when you think about in the SWOT analysis, when you think about opportunity and threat, that is every time that's related to environment part. You guys know environment, right? The environment part, and that's why we call the opportunity and threat environment opportunity and environment threat. So strength is weakness is kind of directly related to directory kind of organization, right, by itself. But opportunity and threat part is always the thinking, always the related to environment part, okay? So when I try to explain the SWOT analysis, I already gave you kind of the professional organization example, especially Chicago Bulls, okay? I also prepared a case study because I just want to emphasize the importance of sports marketing. I mean sports marketing, promotion, something like that. There is kind of huge importance of sports marketing. That's why I prepared case study, okay? So right now at this moment is NBA. You guys did not have heard about the NBL, right? So National Basketball League, almost the 7 years ago, right? The previous history of the basketball in the United States, right? But the first sentence, you guys know it's about the NBA team Rochester Royal. Rochester Royal does not exist anymore, right? Rochester Royal is current the Sacramento Kings, right? You guys know Sacramento Kings. But if you like the National Basketball Association NBA game, so you might have known about the Sacramento Kings, right? One of the NBA teams, just like the Chicago Bulls. The Sacramento Kings, Sacramento area, especially located in the California area, like Los Angeles Lakers and other California states, very nice, famous and cities. But Sacramento Kings local base is based on the Pacific Ocean area, okay? Arena's capacity is almost 4,000 seats, right? 4,000 seats, you guys have to remember. But think about that. So usually, Rochester Royals was playing KBL, right? So BAA, in 1946, the new league. That time, the NBA does not exist anymore. The previous history I'm talking about, right? So BAA usually based on the big market teams. Thinking about that, New York, Boston, Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland is every city I mentioned is the big market team, right, in the United States. That's why the Rochester Royals kind of had the kind of problem in the promoting their game and advertising their product, whatever, okay? But Rochester Royals was playing really nice, right? So 1946, 1947, won the first 2 NBA championship, and arena was every time constantly sold out. Approximately about 4,000 seats. Every time they play a game, the arena was sold out, right? Yeah, the previous history, kind of basketball history in sports industry, in 1949 is a very, very crucial period for developing NBA because there is kind of the war between the NBL and KBL, right? So that's why in 1949, the BAA were reorganized as the NBA. That's the kind of the creation of NBA, National Basketball Association, at this moment, okay? Yeah, that's the important part, right? So Royals failed in some basic areas of sales promotion, right? Sales promotion also important parts. Usually when the sports marketing think about the marketing strategy and tactics, they always have to think about nice promotion. I mean the sales and promotion strategy, right? They have to develop their new unique skills, especially marketers, sports industry marketer, right? But at that time, the Rochester Royals sports marketer, they failed to develop new and unique the kind of sales and promotion strategy and tactics. That's why Rochester Royals was failed, right? So especially in the marketing perspective. Yeah, the newer Memorial Arena is the facility name, right, for playing the basketball game. The kind of, you guys also saw the article, right? So I mean, just you guys understand the content of case study, right? The jump from the NBL to BAA. BAA is what? BAA usually the focusing on big market team, right? So that means environmental opportunity. The Rochester Royals had a big opportunity for the promoting their product more, because the big market team, they already previously played NBL, very small market league, right? But in 1948, they jumped from the NBL to BAA. That's the shift. That's the move from small market team to big market team. That is kind of huge opportunity for Rochester Royal, but they failed, right? They failed in the marketing perspective. You guys, sports market, have already thinking about those kind of problems. Even though they got big opportunity just like this, but they failed to develop and promote their sports product. That's why I prepared this kind of case study. So any kind of sports marketer has to get the SWOT analysis, I mean the situation analysis, right? That's the importance of SWOT analysis. Before conducting any kind of sports marketing plan, any kind of sports marketer have to fully understand the concept of the SWOT analysis, okay? But the newer Memorial Arena is the facility name, right? The previously, how many seats? 4,000 seats, right? But they increased their attendance. They raised from 4,000 to 8,000 seats in 1955. That's kind of the opportunity for making the profit, right, at that time. But they failed, right? Usually, the professional basketball organization got a chance to make a profit through selling the admission ticket, right? But that time, I mean, you guys have you heard about revenue sharing, right? That revenue sharing, I think there's some group, which group I don't remember exactly, but some group that already presented about kind of revenue sharing, right? Usually, especially in the NFL, National Football League, you guys have to remember the system of revenue sharing, right? But that time, the BAA, the prohibited the revenue sharing system. That's why all 8 receipts reside with the home team. Only home team get a kind of profit when they sell the ticket. I mean, just the admission ticket. Only home team get whole 100% profit. But that's the kind of problem, because Rochester Royal is very kind of small market team, right? So they do not have the chance to compete with the big market team. That's why the small market team needs the revenue sharing, right? But at that time, 1955, the BAA, usually which organized through the big market teams, they prohibited the kind of revenue sharing system. That's the kind of threat, environmental threat, okay? So also the BAA prohibited exhibition matches. The exhibition match that's not the kind of regular game, right? That's the kind of special memorial game. But the BAA prohibited exhibition matches too. That was the kind of environmental threat for the Rochester Royals. Because the many kind of exhibition matches, they had the Rochester Royals, even the small market team, had the chance to sell additional admission ticket, right? But they have the chance to make a profit through the exhibition game. But BAA, the big market teams leagues, prohibited the exhibition game. That's the kind of environmental threat of the Rochester Royal. They could not conduct any kind of exhibition game. They could not do that, right? That's the kind of environmental threat too. The last one is you guys have to remember the media, the development of media. The people just watching the TV, watching the game through the TV, right, through the media. They did not have to go to the stadium directly, right? Because of the kind of media development, there is kind of another additional environmental threat, the Rochester Royals, right? So small marketing, okay? That is kind of the T part. T means threat. So that's the last part, W, right? So W means weakness, okay? Yeah, the marketer, the sales and promotion part especially, they try to more the detail. They have to think about that. Sports marketers have always think about unique and new ideas, especially for ticket sales and promotion. But they kill themselves by selling out the arena with season ticket. They just sold the ticket 100% with only season ticket. They just thinking about the importance of season ticket. Season ticket, the selling is also important part, but they have to think about another method for selling the ticket, right? Not only season ticket, but also there is more various ways to buy and sell the ticket, right? But they had to think about that, but they did not do that, right? That's kind of organization weakness. You guys know, if you guys see this kind of example, Rochester Royal story, I already empathize and focus based on SWOT analysis, right? The 4 kinds of important crucial terminology, strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. You guys have to remember in your brain, okay? Yeah, this case study based on 1950s. Think about at this moment, right? 2010, usually there is kind of new technique have been developed, right? Especially any kind of sports marketing in the professional industry, they have to think about social media marketing, right? Because in the 1980s and 1990s, we did not have the internet, right? We did not have internet. But at this moment, we have internet, right? The modern technology development. That's why the development of social media marketing. You guys know the social media marketing, right? Social media marketing usually they're focusing on Facebook and Twitter. Any kind of, you guys go to website, any kind of professional, the sports organization, you guys have the kind of different separate section, unique section, usually covering the social media marketing things, right? But that's the importance of social media marketing. That means new trend, right? Any kind of sports marketing working for the sports industry, they have to adapt to the new environment, okay? That's the importance of the sports marketers, okay? Any kind of new things, any kind of new environment, they have to adapt to that, okay? Yes, that means any kind of sports marketer have the ability to recognize the modern trend, and they also have to forecast the future trends, right? We cannot predict the future trend, but any kind of sports marketing working for the sports industry, they at least minimum, they might have the guess. What is the new trend in the marketing tools? I mean, for promoting and whatever, advertising their new product, they have always be interested in the new trend, right? The new trend is the most important thing, okay? That is the conclusion for this case study, okay? So after SWOT analysis, after situation analysis, it might be necessary to adjust the organizational mission after the SWOT analysis. Every organization have the mission and goals, right? In the marketing plan, any kind of sports marketer, try to write the marketing plan. They always have the first section, first page of the marketing plan, any kind of the marketing plan, including the mission statement, right? So any kind of sports organizations, mission and goals. So usually after situation analysis, just like SWOT analysis, it might be necessary to adjust the organizational mission, okay? It's important, also important to create goals and objectives depending on the environmental situational analysis. It's also important to achieve these goals and objectives, okay? So my last section in today's lecture will be marketing plan, right? So marketing plan is the very, very important thing. So the topic will be developing a marketing plan. The developing plan at both strategic and tactical levels. The strategy, I already explained, strategy is long-term terminology, and tactics is very kind of short-term and detailed terminology, okay? So developing plan at both strategic and tactical levels, okay? So develop a marketing plan. The MIS, what is MIS? Marketing Information System, right? Usually regarding the consumer analysis part. MIS, Marketing Information System, to identify the consumer segments we are targeting, okay? So identifying the target segments through the position on the escalator of involvement. Escalator concept, I'll explain the next section, okay? So develop following: products, price, distribution system, and promotion and public relation, especially media and sponsorship program, will be included in the marketing plan. Well, product, price, promotion, and place and public relation is the what? The marketing mix, right? You guys know the 5 P's, sports marketing mix. That is kind of short answer question in your midterm. The 100% sure. I'm giving you that kind of question, okay? What is the sports marketing mix? What is the 5 P's? You just have to answer the right product, price, place, promotion, and last one will be public relation. That's the 5 P's for sports marketing mix, okay? That question is one of the midterm questions, okay, for this semester. So before thinking about 5 P's, sports marketing mix, sports marketers have to thinking about target market. They have to determine key target, right? We need market segmentation. Market segmentation is a kind of market separation. There is a kind of decision making of determine the target market, okay? So market segments, that means in each consumers are grouped into cluster of the similar characteristic, right? Every kind of person have a different characteristic, okay? So the sports marketer have to find the people with very similar characteristic. That's the market segmentation. That means the similar characters, people, cluster of the similar characteristics, sports marketer try to find that kind of group. We talking about market segmentation, okay? That is kind of 4 bases of segmentation. The first of all, the consumer state of being, that is usually related to demographic information. And second one is the consumer state of mind, the psychographics, the part, okay? So demographic, what is the demographic? That is what is sex, what is the age, right? That's kind of brief personal information we usually call demographic information, okay? The psychographics, that means kind of mental things, right? The mind, right? Just like hate, whatever, okay? The product usage and product benefits is the third and last things will be the sports marketers determine the market segmentation, okay? So market segmentation, MIS, Marketing Information System, to distinguish marketable cluster, right? So the group B already explained the niche market, right? So niche means small group of consumers who share special, often unfilled needs or interest. Niche means very kind of small market, right? The kind of, the Bundesliga, right? So Florian, you already explained Bundesliga last week. The Bundesliga is the big market, kind of big league, right? So niche market, what is niche market? He emphasized the MLS, Major League Soccer, usually conducted in the United States. That is kind of professional soccer, but that's not the popular league, right? The Bundesliga, kind of Serie A, the Premier League, there's a big league, right? So big market. But niche market is kind of a small market things, right? Especially that's not the popular league. But sports market, they have to think about big league and niche market too. The niche market, that when they think about the niche market, they have the chance to develop any kind of new marketing skills, right? Using the niche market. The niche market got the chance of being successful, just like big market teams. But Florian, you already empathize, right? So the MRS of the being successful in the future, right? So that's the niche market, the importance, okay? But you guys have to know the terminology of niche. What's the meaning of niche? Small group of consumers who share special unfulfilled needs or interests. That might be one of your short answer questions, okay? The niche. What is niche? You guys have to write exactly like that, right? Small group of consumers who share special often unfulfilled needs or interests. That is the meaning of niche, okay? You know MIS, right? What is MIS? Good. That's your question too, right? So that question will be in your midterm examination. I'm not 100% sure about that, but 99%, everything I mentioned in the class, that will be in your midterm examination, okay? So market segmentation will be continued. MIS databases allow strategies closer toward individual marketing strategy. That is usually called relationship marketing. But season ticket holders send out greetings on special event is one of the examples of the relationship marketing. Relationship means kind of exposure market between the sports marketer and customer. I mean the relationship between sports marketer and sports consumer, right? There's a kind of, every time they have to make good relationship, right? Any kind of sports organization try to make the customers happy, right? That's the importance of relationship marketing. They have to sustain and maintain every time good relationship between customers and organization staffs, right? I mean the marketers. Develop your market. You guys, have you heard about escalator concept? Escalator concept. That's the escalator, right? You guys know escalator, right? You guys, very hard to read those kind of words, right? You cannot read those kind of things, but escalator concept, the briefly speaking with you guys, that is kind of the market segmentation. Every people have different the perspective, right? So usually 20, that is the first step. Usually escalator concept is we explain from first step, number 1, to 20. 20 is the biggest, the highest step. That means 20, the heavy users. That kind of person always thinking about sports game and interested in watching the sports game related to specific sports organization, right? How about first step? First step people, they do not have any kind of information regarding the sports game, watching game. They do not be interested in watching and going to stadium anymore, right? That's the right user. The medium side, right? So especially sports marketer do not have to think about the portion of heavy user, right? So heavy user, that is proper people, but they do not have any kind of special marketing skill because they attend the game and they are already interested in watching the game every time, right? But the sports marketer have to think about the portion of heavy user. But right user, first step people, that is kind of problem, right? So for promoting and the advertising sports product, any kind of sports marketer have to think about the first step people, right user. At least they have to make them at least watch the game one time and 2 times per season, right? They have to try to make the right users to change to heavy user. That's the third step and the seventh step. That's the middle users. They usually normal class people, right? But heavy users and kind of strategic steps. But the marketer use the escalator concept. When they distinguish the market segmentation, they usually use the escalator concept. Okay? Does it make sense? Okay? So any kind of sports marketer have to think about the right user portion, right? But do not get me wrong, they have to think about every kind of people, right? So they kind of heavy user and middle user, right user, they have to think about they have to use about everything, right? All kinds of people, but especially they have to think about the right user's portion, okay? To make the sports organization most popular, okay? That is kind of escalate concept. The escalate concept, user segments constitute the sports consumer escalate. It is a graphic representation of consumer movement to higher levels of involvement in a sport. That is the escalate concept, right? So kind of graphic information. So product development and positioning. Positioning means designing and redesigning and promoting products to capture special space in target consumers' minds. But that means what you do, what sports marketer do to the mind of the prospect, I mean the potential customers. So baseball, think about that. Every time sports marketer needs their product positioning. So for example, I'm giving you two representative types of sports. Baseball, that's already a popular game, but sports marketer needs sports positioning once again. Because at that time, previous history, in the United States, the number one sport is football, right? So American football is the most popular game. So baseball, any kind of sports marketers working for baseball industry, they have to have unique marketing skill, right? Unique marketing tools, kind of for product development. That's the product repositioning. Product repositioning, okay? So that means baseball try to have new rules. You mean the redesign with designated hitter? The designated hitter, right? So usually amateur game, right? So Olympic game, the baseball game. Usually official rule is the pitcher. Pitcher is who throws the ball. Pitcher also have to hit the ball with the status of hitter, right? But designated hitter, in the Major League Baseball, there is two representative league, American League and National League, two different leagues, right? Major League Baseball has 30 baseball teams, right? Professional organization. The 16 teams included in the American League, 14 teams is included in National League. But in the National League, pitcher do not have to hit the ball. Pitcher only throw the ball, right? That's the role of pitcher. No, sorry about that. National League, pitcher, the role, two important roles. They have to throw a ball, and then they have to hit the ball too. That's the rule of National League. So American League, right? The pitcher do not have to hit the ball. But instead of pitcher in the batting rotation, they have to make new plan. I mean the new batter. Instead of the pitcher, designated hitter have been capable of hitting the ball instead of a pitcher. That's the rule of the American League. Why do they need that kind of rules? Pitcher usually do not hit the ball very well, right? So the Major League Baseball, the football game, think about American football and basketball game. That is kind of offense game, right? So defense is also important, but offense is more important. But baseball, if the pitcher hit the ball, the baseball games as offense strategy and tactics will be decreased. That's why they adapting new rules. They making the new rules more. So it's more for promoting offense side, right? That's the rule of the designated hitter. That kind of thing is the product positioning, right? Usually that's not like that, but sometimes think about marketer have to think about the history. I mean just a trends of at that time. Sometimes they have to make new rules and adapt to new environment. That's a kind of product development and repositioning, right? So think about, I already explained inter-league, right? Usually American League and National League teams, they do not play each other, right? But now, the Major League Baseball made a new rules, usually called inter-league. Inter-league means American League teams play each other with National League Baseball team. Usually World Series is championship game of the Major League Baseball. Usually final game is the winner of American League play against the winner of National League. That's it, right? Without that, any kind of team do not have the chance to play each other, American League team and National League teams. But inter-league game means even though if they do not go to the next round, I mean the playoff, they do have the chance to play each other, American League team and National League team, for the interest of the game. That's a kind of new positioning, product positioning, okay? That's kind of example, okay? So ice hockey, so you guys think about NHL, right? Ice hockey usually tough rules against third man in and against leaving the bench during fight. You guys understand what does that mean? You guys know ice hockey game is a kind of violent thing, right? Only kind of sports, right? So NHL allows the player to fight. You guys see watching if you guys watching the ice hockey game here, right? Two players usually used to fight, right? The real fight, right? So NHL allowed them to do that, right? That's the kind of violent things. But that time, the previous history, when two players fight, third man in, right? But NHL no more allowed the third man in during the two players fight. They prohibited the violence of the NHL part. That's the kind of product repositioning, okay? Kind of for the ethical part. Usually third man in was allowed in the NHL ice hockey game, but at this moment, no more third man in during the ice hockey game, especially fighting part, okay? As you guys see, every time sports marketer have to make any kind of new rules and policies. That means any kind of things they have to adapt their kind of tactics and strategy to the environment every time. That's the kind of the importance of product repositioning. Okay. The position in sports industry, the big league sports. NASCAR, you guys know NASCAR, right? NASCAR is a car racing game in the United States. NASCAR shifted its position. Usually, the people thinking about NASCAR game is blue-collar entertainment. I mean, the previous history, the NASCAR was not popular. But right now, NASCAR, they changed their image, right? So the NASCAR games identities, they try to increase. They try to make NASCAR game more popular. That's not the blue-collar game anymore, okay? That's the kind of repositioning too. So Major League Soccer, MLS, positioning the league as an alternative to the corporate conglomerate grids. The MLS has been struggling. That's a kind of niche market game, right? They have already the 4 professional big leagues, right? So National Football League, NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, and what else? There's a kind of 4 representative big professional league. They have to, MLS, just like niche market, have the competence, right? Have to compete each other. They have to get any kind of new and unique marketing strategy and tactics for competing each other, right? That's a kind of hard things. But MLS, at this moment, as Florian presented in the last week, MLS has a potential to be successful, just like major professional organization, right? That's the repositioning of the sports industry, okay? The 5 P's in the sports marketing, right? So that's the related to marketing mix. I already explained those kind of important terminology, right? the 5 P's: product, price, place, promotion, public relation, right? Product usually related to product development and positioning, and price is the price, right? The place usually called product distribution, and promotion usually including media, personal selling and advertising and special events, right? The public relation usually including two important type of things, right? You guys have to know that. That will be 100% in your midterm examination. What is public relation? You guys have to explain. And two words, media attention and community relation. The public relation always, two types of important thing, media relation plus community relation. That is the public relation. Usually people call public relation PR. You guys have you heard about PR, right? Public relation is PR, right? PR is the combination of media relation and community relation. Okay? Usually in the business marketing part, the people using only 4 P's, the research and any kind of sports market, marketing directors. In other industry, they just using 4 P's when they explain the marketing mix. That's the product, price, place, promotion. But especially in the sports marketing mix, I already gave you a lecture regarding the special nature of sports industry, right? So sports industry, sports marketing mix, there is one additional P. That's the public relation, okay? That's why I emphasizing the last P, public relation. When I try to explain marketing mix, sports marketing mix, you guys have to remember public relation. Public relation is the most important thing, okay, in the sports marketing mix. P's are influenced by process management, okay? Yeah, those one is the last one, right? So example, I'm also using Chicago Bulls. That's the kind of jersey, right? You guys have seen. Derrick Rose is right now, he's the #1 player. Chicago Bulls, 1990s, Michael Jordan is the #1, but Derrick Rose is not the #1 player, but that he is one of the famous and popular players in the NBA history at this moment, okay? But Derrick Rose, he got injured last season and this season. He could not have the chance to play for last season and this season, but he's very, very famous. He's franchise star for representing Chicago Bulls, okay? But his back number is #1. Because I use those kind of jersey, try to explain 5 P's, okay? The product, first P, Derrick Rose jersey, right? The price, usually $110, okay? The place, anybody got a chance to purchase those kind of jersey? That means USA and worldwide. That is the price. Okay, promotion and TV and website. Through the TV and website media, they also, sports marketers have the chance to advertise and promote those kind of products, right? So public relation, usually at this moment, official website and Twitter and customer service, that kind of important media tools, marketers have the chance to promote those kind of things. The representative thing is the sports jersey, right? Sports stars jersey also will be included in the product of sports industry, okay? Just sports organization. That's why I'm using those kind of jersey to explain the 5 P's briefly, okay? Last, control and evaluate the plan's implementation, okay? So finally, you guys have the situation analysis, just a SWOT analysis, and marketing mix. Marketing mix is what? 5 P's, right? Everything you got, right? So after that, after all, sports marketers have the chance to control and evaluate the marketing plan's implementation, okay? So they always try to increase consumer satisfaction, okay? That's the final goal of the marketing plan. Marketing plan always thinking about increasing the sports consumer satisfaction level, okay? So sports consumer satisfaction means there's a kind of the equation of there, right? So you guys, you don't have to memorize those kind of equation, but think about that. Consumer satisfaction equals product benefits minus cost. But in order to help you guys understand very easily satisfaction, benefits, cost, I'm just giving you example. Satisfaction, you can think about attendance, ticket or member renewal rate. I mean just kind of regarding ticket sales part. The benefits, product benefits, food quality, access to, and speed of parking will be in the benefit parts. But cost means kind of sacrifice section, right? So time spent in parking lot after games, and beer spilled on children by drunken parents. That is kind of one example, right? The investment caused by usher. Usher is usually selling the concession part in the stadium, right? In the facility. So you guys know the meaning of the usher, right? That is kind of person who sell the merchandise thing, especially regarding concession part, beer, popcorn, whatever snacks. We usually call those kind of person usher, okay? That is kind of thing will be included in cost. That means benefits minus cost is we thinking about consumer satisfaction, okay? Consumer satisfaction is equalized product benefits minus cost, okay? Okay, that is last thing of my lecture. We'll be having the 5-minute break.